Alright, to simplify radicals in this case, you probably remember back to when it looked like this, x plus 4 times 2x plus 3. If we had something like that, we would FOIL, distribute everything in this set of parentheses to everything in that set of parentheses. Now we are going to actually have to do the exact same thing in this case. I'm going to make my list going down. I'm going to stop this video after I do this again so you can stop and process what you learned, and also so it doesn't take forever for this YouTube video to load. So we're going to have the square root of 3 minus the square root of 7 times the square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 7. So this, what's in between the parentheses, sets to multiply. You could simplify what's inside the parentheses first, but looking, there's absolutely nothing we can simplify because our radicals in this set of parentheses aren't the same, so I can't combine them, I can't subtract them, same thing here, can't do anything. So we're going to have to FOIL out. So the first one, I'm going to write everything out, and then from there I'm going to kind of shorten it a little bit. The square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 9. So we have the square root of 9. And then we do the square root of 3 times 2 square root of 7. Sorry, I said I was going to write everything out, wasn't I? Square root of 3 times square root of 3. And then we're going to do plus the square root of 3 times 2 square root of 7. Okay, so this is the square root of 9, plus this is 2 square root of 21. Okay, and then we're going to distribute the negative square root of 7 as well. So we have negative radical 7 times radical 3, so that's negative radical 21. Notice it's not a negative underneath the radical because the negative is outside, so it's negative 1 times 1. And then we have plus negative radical 7 times 2 radical 7. So that's going to be a negative 2, and then that's square root of 49, because radical 7 times radical 7 is 49. Okay, now each of these can be simplified a little bit further. Square root of 9 is 3. These are like terms, and that's actually like a 1 in front of it. So like we learned, if the radical is the exact same, you can simplify that. So 2 square root of 21 minus 1 square root of 21 is just 1 square root of 21. And then this last term can actually be simplified as well, because the square root of 49 is 7, so it's actually 2 times 7, so it's going to be minus 14 here. And then we actually still have like terms with the 3 and the negative 14. So 3 plus a negative 14 is negative 11. So it's negative 11 plus the square root of 21. And that we can't combine because they're not like terms. And 21 we can't break down any further because there's not a perfect square that goes into 21 other than 1. And if you need to, go back and watch that explanation. I will do more explanations here. So this one, 1 plus the square root of 72, and then 5 plus the square root of 2. You can choose to simplify this first and then multiply, or you can multiply it first and then simplify. I'm going to simplify first. The square root of 72 can get broken down into 36 and 2. The square root of 36 is 6. So it's 1 plus 6 radical 2 times 5 plus radical 2. And now from here I'm going to FOIL. So 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times radical 2 is just radical 2. 6 radical 2 times 5 is 30 radical 2. And then 6 radical 2 times radical 2 is 6 radical 4. And then we can simplify. So it's going to be 5 plus 1 radical 2 plus 30 radical 2 is 31 radical 2. Plus, and that square root of 4 goes to 2, so this is 6 times 2, which is 12. Combine my like terms, so that's going to be 17 plus 31 radical 2. Okay, and radical 2 can't get broken down any further, so that is it on that one. Okay, this one, the square root of x plus the square root of 3, and then we're going to multiply that by the square root of x plus 2 square root of 3. Okay, so doing this, square root of x times square root of x will be square root of x squared, and then plus square root of x times 2 square root of 3, that's 2 square root of 3x, plus square root of 3 times square root of x is the square root of 3x, and then square root of 3 times 2 square root of 3 is going to be 2 square root of 9. So the square root of x squared is x. 2 square root of 3x plus 1 square root of 3x is 3 square root of 3x. And then that's 2 times 3, which is 6. And now here, I don't have any like terms to combine, so that's my final answer. X plus 3 square root of 3x plus 6. This next one. So that's 3 plus 2 radical 5 times 2 plus 4 radical 5. Nothing I can simplify first, so I'm just going to go to multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 radical 5. All I can multiply is the 3 and the 4 because that's what's outside the radical. So it's 12 radical 5. 2 radical 5 times 2 is 2 times 2, so 4 radical 5. And then 2 radical 5 times 4 radical 5, I can do the 2 times the 4, which gives me 8, and then the radical 5 times the radical 5, which gives me radical 25. So this is going to be 6 plus 16 radical 5, and then this is actually going to be plus 8 times 5, which is 40, so it's 46 plus 16 radical 5. And then there's nothing we can do here. Square root of 5 is in its simplest form. Okay, this, remember when we have a squared, it doesn't mean square each piece. So we have to do square root of 2 minus square root of 3 times square root of 2 minus square root of 3. And then again, FOIL. Radical 2 times radical 2 is radical 4. Radical 2 times negative radical 3 is going to be negative radical 6. Negative radical 3 times 2 is going to be negative radical 6. And then a negative radical 3 times a negative radical 3 is going to be a positive radical 9. And then we can simplify each piece. So this is going to be 2. That's negative 1 radical 6 minus 1 radical 6. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2 radical 6. And then that's going to actually go to plus 3. Square root of 9 is 3. Combined by like terms, so it's going to be 5 minus 2 radical 6. And that's your final answer there. You can't break radical 6 down any further. Okay, at least you know my last one, which to kind of think back about complex numbers. Remember, complex number is written in the form of a plus bi. Its complex conjugate is a minus bi. If you notice, this isn't a complex number because there's no i's, but they are conjugates. Because we have 2 plus square root of 3 and then 2 minus square root of 3. So they are conjugates of one another. Now this conjugate is going to lead us into the next video you're going to watch. But you basically have 2 plus square root of 3 times 2 minus square root of 3. We're still going to multiply them the same way out, so we're going to FOIL. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times negative radical 3 is negative 2 radical 3. Radical 3 times 2 is positive 2 radical 3. And radical 3 times negative radical 3 is negative radical 9. So this is going to go to 4. Those are like terms, and they happen to cancel one another out, because negative 2 radical 3 plus 2 radical 3 is 0 radical 3, which is nothing. And then minus the square root of 9, which is 3, and 4 minus 3 is 1. Every conjugate that you multiply will always equal an integer. Every single time when you multiply conjugates. So we need to know that for our next lesson, or our next video, because the next video talks about how to simplify radicals when it's in fraction form. So we need to know that that conjugate concept.